What's up, folks? Welcome back to Charm City Heavyweights Podcast, brought to you by Great 8 Sports Memorabilia in Parkville, Maryland. I'm the host, Matt Trigger, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Josh Merrill.
So Matt coming live from the man cave. The man cave was packed yesterday. We had good food. It was rumbling. It was vibrating. I had the volume turned all the way up. My cat was trying to knock everything over. The place was vibrating. It was electric. This team is fun to watch. I don't care what anybody says. This team's right there. I feel like they stick together and they play the best they can play. I really feel like they can have the best shot to win it out of anybody.
This is a very good football team right now, and it's crazy that we're talking about it like this because just a month ago, we were talking about how inconsistent this team was, and we have, railed off 4 straight wins now. And
4 straight wins. Just took
it's just
time, I think,
incredible.
for things to gel. A lot of
It
new
did,
pieces.
and I was, yeah, definitely. It was a lot of new pieces, and I want to talk about the defense before we get into the offense. The defense is playing at a historical pace right now. They are shades of the 2000 defense. If you look at the stats solely on paper, I know we don't have the legends and the vaunted veterans that defense had. It's a completely different system, obviously, 23 years later. But this defense is so damn good. Michael Pierce had another fantastic week. Justin Madubuike continues to be the linchpin of that defensive line. Um,
Matabuke is
Kyle
putting
Van
up
Noy,
Aaron Donald prime numbers, is what he's doing for people that don't know or understand that. He's putting up Aaron Donald prime numbers for that position, which is like unheard of. That's why a guy, Aaron Donald, is so famous and so rich because he made that position flashy. Only a few guys have been able to do it in the history of this game. And right now, the first 9 games, Matabuke is finally living up to his potential and what we all thought he could be since we took him.
yeah, and it's crazy that a lot of these guys are having these type of seasons in their contract years. A lot of these guys are about to get paid handsomely on the
Oh, yeah.
defense, and that the main three are Madubuike, Queen, and Stone, and Geno Stone leading the league in interceptions. Still had number 6, dropped number 7 later on in the game. It was knocked out of his hands pretty much, but he could have had 6 and 7
Dude's
on
going to
Sunday.
end up
We've
with
played some pretty good
double-digit
football teams, and
interceptions.
if he goes on the pace he's going now, yeah, I'm not going to say he's going to challenge for the all-time single-season record because it's 14. But I have a feeling that he is going to be at double digits, if not, that nine range. But he's playing fantastic. He's putting himself in a great position to make plays. I'm not complaining about him at all. He is far and away the biggest surprise on this defense this year. Wanted to shout out Brandon Stevens again. He had another fantastic game. Him and Marlon were both just locked down in coverage. Covering DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett is not an easy feat, and they
And they
kept
made it look
those
easy.
guys relatively quiet with the exception. They made it look very easy, and with the exception of that 50-yard catch, those guys didn't have a prayer against
Metcalf
this
is huge,
secondary.
dude. That, like, I
He
don't
is.
look, I'm going to be honest. I don't pay attention to the Seahawks that much. I know who DJ Metcalf is, but I'm saying DK Metcalf, whatever the hell his name is. But that dude, it looks like a fucking monster, man. The camera was like panning behind him, and as he was walking up the sideline after they were about to kick the field goal, and he is a monster. Like, it's a freak of nature that he's a wide receiver. And we could have had him said Hollywood Brown. What the fuck?
It's a little. It's a that's hindsight's always 2020.
I know, I
I
know.
was impressed
I'm
with
just
how
saying.
well this. I was impressed with how this defense played, man. They get after the quarterback, and the pressures were coming from the edge rushers. They weren't
Who would
coming
have thunk it?
from the they weren't coming from the cornerbacks and the safeties like they were for a little bit of the season. Even Patrick Queen hasn't been getting home a whole lot lately, but Van Noy and Clowney, two guys that didn't even really get a preseason and get much of a training camp. Van Noy has been incredible to watch. He is a veteran leader on the team, and a lot of the guys, flock to him in terms of just leadership.
He
Clowney
seems
looks
like
like
a good dude.
he does.
Yeah,
Clowney looks like he's having a ball right now, which is important. I think
he
that
is.
he's like energized right now,
He
and it
is.
helps
He
that the
is.
team's 7-2. And Roquan Smith was flying all around the field again. Patrick Queen had another good game, and I do want to, give a shout out to the secondary again because even guys like Millette and um, Darby and those type of guys, they were so damn locked down and they were so good
Who
and
would have
played
thought,
their
man?
roles
It's
perfectly.
unbelievable.
Kyle Hamilton I know. Kyle Hamilton had another good game. He is a tackling machine. He is always in the right position in the secondary. He plays well towards the line of scrimmage. You cannot ask for anything better than how this defense started. They just played this and sheer domination. They didn't give up a touchdown. They got the field goal off of sheer will to at least get on the board, but no touchdowns given up. And I like the fact that they did what they were supposed to do to a lesser football team. I know that they have a winning record, but Seattle is obviously they got a ways to go in that division because that's a tough division over there. But I feel confident with these next two games against Cleveland and Cincinnati. These are going to be two of our tougher games. The Cleveland Browns always play us tough. Deshaun
They're
Watson should
division
be
games. I
playing.
mean,
Yeah,
it's enough said. Division game. Don't matter who's
they're-
playing.
yeah, division game. Watson should be able to play, so we're not going to be seeing a rookie or we're not going to be seeing anybody that shouldn't be out there on the field. Hopefully, it's he's ready to go, so we can show Watson what we think of him. I'm looking forward to the game, but let's talk about this offense, man.
Who we want to talk about?
Keaton Mitchell.
Keaton Mitchell. Friend of the
The
show.
kid
Family
is a
friend of
monster.
the show. Yeah.
Yes,
Look, man,
and
he got in
we've
there
had a
and he
pleasure.
exploded. Yeah, we've had the pleasure of interviewing his dad. But listen, he got in there and he exploded. He was fast as shit off the line. He was just gone. You could see all the Ravens on the sideline going nuts for him. Lamar in the front going nuts for him. Everybody was happy for him, man. But he is extremely fast. And it's exciting to think that, you can add him to the mix now. And then we actually have 3 healthy running backs right now. When's the last time we could have said that? I don't know. But dude is
We
fast, man. That kid is
and
fast.
he protects the ball. He knows how to follow and be patient with the blockers. He is looking fantastic out there. I was championing for him in the preseason. I'm not going to say, "Oh, I told you so," because that's silly. But I was hoping that the kid made it. We both were hoping the kid made it on the team out of the preseason. 138 yards and a rushing touchdown on less
Dude
than
went
10
off.
carries. The dude
Dude went
went
off.
absolutely nuts. His father, a 2000 Super Bowl champion, Anthony Mitchell. Um, it was cool hearing Jim Nance talk about his touchdown against the Titans when they blocked the Al Del Greco field goal, and it was really nice to see him finally get his shine. Him and Gus Edwards are going to be thunder and lightning the rest of the year. If you can get that, I'm not saying 140 yards rushing from Mitchell every week, but if you can get Mitchell to come in there and be the change of pace back and give the offense a little bit of a spark, instead of the ground and pound that Gus gives us, that's a dangerous combination. Odell Beckham's finally getting going. I'm so happy that he finally got a touchdown. It was on his birthday, which was pretty cool.
Well deserved.
Well-deserved touchdown. He's worked hard, and he has been
And he
he's
also
shown
had
a little bit of
legit good
frustration.
day. He had 5. Listen, his frustration, but people are getting it twisted, man. Everything I've seen and read, like his frustration is purely on himself because he has high expectations. It has nothing to do with the
Right.
team. Everything I've read said he loves the team. He loves the city. Like he just wants to do better for the team. And he had a legit good game. He had, what was he, like 5 for 50 yards and a touchdown? That's not a bad day.
556 and a touchdown for a
Yeah,
third
that's a
or
good day.
fourth for the third or fourth target on the offense. Odell put up decent numbers, and a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, well, it took him 9 weeks to score his first touchdown. He missed a couple games." You got to understand, like a lot of people got to understand, Mark Andrews is the first target that Lamar Jackson looks for when he's making
He's
his
the number
reads.
one receiver. Call him
He's a
what you
number
want. He's
one.
the number one receiver.
He's a number one receiver. They were feeding Likely yesterday. Rashad Bateman is starting to show up week after week, and he is making the
He's
most out
just
of
got to
every
stay
opportunity.
healthy. He's just got
Yeah,
to stay
he's making
healthy.
the most
He's
out
got
of
to stay on the field.
every time they throw the ball his way. He is making the most of his opportunity. He's not catching the ball and falling down. He is catching
No.
the ball. He's moving the chains. He's trying to make things happen. You got Zay. Zay had a quiet game yesterday.
Well, Zay, I'll know more tonight when the film drops. But Zay, from what I saw in the game, it's just my opinion, it looked like he was being used more of a decoy. If you watch what was happening in the game, it just seemed like he was a lot of pre-snap shit, and it just seemed like a decoy, which is a good thing. We need that. When have we ever had that before?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's not gonna. He's not gonna. Yeah.
They were
I
just
think that
shooting
he's
him
gonna. I think that
downfield,
he's
man.
gonna
He was
be
running a lot of
one of those.
go routes. That's what he was doing. A lot of just shooting down the field.
Oh yeah. He was taking the top off the defense for everything to open up underneath. Yeah.
Exactly.
It was very nice to see. It was very nice to see everybody else get involved. Aguilar was kind of quiet, but um,
Did he
it
play a
was
lot?
just
I
one of those.
didn't even notice him.
I didn't see him. They fed Duvernay a little bit. Duvernay was getting some reps towards the end of the game.
Yeah,
I
well
was actually
deserved.
shocked. I was actually shocked to see Huntley come in the beginning of the fourth quarter. I didn't know that we were going to go to the backups already. Um,
Well,
it was weird seeing him out there. The first series that he was out there with the ones, and then the second series that he was out there, they filtered in all the backup offensive
but
linemen
that's a
and backup
luxury,
playmakers.
Matt. That's a
It
luxury that
is.
we have forgotten. When you got a great defense, you can do that. When your quarterback was hobbling for a drive, your star $265 million quarterback, you're kind of a little bit nervous. I was happy to see him out. The game was well in hand. They weren't moving the ball. They weren't doing anything. Seattle started even kind of you could tell, man, they were done. They were done. So I think it was a genius move, man. Get his ass out of there. It's no need to keep him in there for what?
And I know we're going to sound like a broken record, but I think yesterday was proof enough that you don't need to run Lamar in this quarterback power design run. We have three capable
I
running
don't like
backs.
it.
I think
Yeah,
that
please take it out.
unless you absolutely positively have to do it, take that out and take the read option out. Where it seems like almost every single week, him and Justice Hill have a miscue, and
Oh, it
one of
don't
them
seem
drops the
like it. It
ball.
is. Don't seem like it. That's the
It,
one negative from the game is it's every game we do it. Like that shit has to stop like a long time ago, and it's happening every week. Yeah, just take that shit out. We don't need it anymore anyway. I
we
don't think.
don't need it. I mean,
Scrap it.
it's not like we have a whole lot of misdirection and misconception in this offense. This is a straightforward locomotive right now. Either give it to Gus between the tackles, give it to Keaton on the outside. Let these two dudes work. Keep your two, like you just said a couple minutes ago. Keep that $265 million investment upright.
It's safe.
When I saw him hobble, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Like mid season,
Oh, that
he gets
scared me, man.
it scared the shit out of me. And the fact that he waved everybody off and stayed in the game, that was cool. I mean, you could tell the leg bothered him for the rest of the drive. I just scrap this quarterback run unless you're at the goal line where there's not a whole lot of room for full speed, running downhill trying to take his legs out. That's fine. Do the goal line shit if you want to, but when you're in midfield, stop running this dude. We don't need to be running him anymore. He has proven this year that he is far past having to rely on his legs first and foremost.
Yeah, and I
We
agree. But I would like to apologize to Lamar for us alluding that maybe the muscle slowed him down a little bit at one point because I can't remember the play or the player, but that guy was on his ass, man. And Lamar put it in that gear that I haven't seen him use in a while down the field. That was cool to see. I haven't seen him get to that level in a minute. But
Yeah,
he was flying, man.
it was like that off tackle run to the right where he
Yeah, and
just.
that guy was on his ass, man. But he outran him. He was going.
I want to talk a little bit about the offensive line. The offensive line for 99% of the game, they were completely and utterly dominant. Tyler Linderbaum getting downfield on that Keaton Mitchell 60-yard run where he is making 2 and 3 blocks after his initial block downfield. Linderbaum was showing hustle. The dude is a
Oh my
fantastic
God,
center.
beast!
He should be an all pro consideration this year. The man is hopefully he's our center for the next 15 years, 10 years. Dude is an absolute animal.
I don't think there's any doubt in my mind he's going to be.
Patrick McCary played really good at right tackle yesterday in spot duty for Morgan Moses, which Moses was a late week scratch, late in the week scratch, but McCary played well. Kevin Zeitler played well again. I'm starting to. John Simpson's growing on me at left guard. I think that he's a pretty good left guard. I'm not saying that he's
played
amazing, but
well.
he played well. He's not giving up a whole lot of pressures. One person I want to talk about though is Ronnie Stanley, and he is getting walked back into the backfield by less than stellar pass rushers on a
Yeah,
consistent basis. It might just be time to call it what it is, and maybe this injury to his knee and his ankle, maybe all this is finally catching up to him. But he does not look like the
he's not the
same
same
All
player.
Pro. He's not the same. He's not, and at that price tag, you really got to consider whether or not it's time to move on
Oh, they're
from
not
him.
paying him that next year. Yeah, they're
No,
not.
yeah.
There's no way.
But I know we're in the middle of a 4-game win streak, and it's early November. But to be objective, Ronnie Stanley looks like he's not even the second or third best offensive lineman we got on this team right now.
He's
He,
not.
he
He's not. I think the injuries have added up, man. That he's had some devastating injuries to his ankles and shit. And yeah, he's getting. It's kind of sad, man. At least
because
once a game, he gets walked back.
and it's early, and I mean
Yeah,
he said he and one thing that you can tell about him that now that his body is starting to break down, he's getting better as a run blocker, but his pass pro is suffering because he can't just kick back and anchor like he used to because of the issues. But he's really good in the run game. They ran to the left just as much as they were running to the right, if not more. He is very
yeah.
present in the run game, but that's not. But being a good run blocking left tackle is an added bonus. You need to protect your investment at quarterback, and I think that this might be one of those years where the Ravens are picking late in the first round that they might try to scoop their next left tackle in the first round or the second round next year. But
Probably.
I don't really have a whole lot to complain about. The team played
You started
well.
complaining. There ain't nothing to complain about.
I mean, other than the fumbles by Hill and Odell, I mean, they didn't really affect the outcome of the game.
No,
So
thank God. Yeah, I don't know what Odell was thinking on that one, bro. Like, put the ball away, man.
yeah, I think he was just pressing to kind of make a play and get upfield a little bit more. That's all I think that was. It wasn't anything
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but you
incredibly
still got to put
serious.
the ball away.
Yeah, I'm overall I'm pleased. I think that I want to say I agree with Mike Preston. He wrote an article. I believe it was either late last night or early today, where he said Keaton Mitchell might be the missing link to this Ravens offense, and I think he may be right. If you have Gus, who's got what's he got 6 touchdowns the last 3 games,
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
the,
got 6.
you know, and it's crazy because up until this past week, everybody and myself included, I was on the train for a running back to be traded for. They're proving they don't need one of these premier guys because now with the way this offensive line is blocking, all 3 of these guys are eating, and it's crazy how good all 3 of them are. Keaton might be our running back of the future. I know we're I know it's still early, and we still feel for him, but J.K. is definitely not going to be back here next year at
No,
at
he's
all.
not.
He's
He's not.
Keaton Mitchell has made us forget who J.K. is, at least
Oh,
on the field, temporarily.
what a
I
dick.
love I love how Mitchell was just so energetic. He showed that he wanted to, net positive yards. He's not doing a whole lot of juking and avoiding
There's going
contact.
to be film on him now, though. So next
Yeah.
week is when, before we get too crazy, there's going to be film on him now. So let's see what
Oh
happens
yeah,
next
there's going to
week.
be film, but now you really got to choose what you're going to do, because this is the most balanced the Ravens offense has been in quite some time, Josh.
Forever
Now if
almost.
now if you want to put that extra defender in the box, now you got to worry about Odell getting open. You got to worry about Zay. You got to worry about Bateman. You got to worry about Andrews. You got to worry about Likely. They're starting to rotate Likely into the offense. I think he had 3 catches yesterday, and
Yeah,
one of
because
them I
look,
thought he was.
listen, because he's not a tight end, man. They need to put him in. He's a wide receiver. He's not. He can't block. So stop putting him in there on blocking assignments. He's not good at it. It's
Well,
on film. He's not good at it. So he's a ball catcher.
yeah,
Put
I
him
mean,
out there.
but I mean that's what they were doing yesterday. They were put
That's what I mean. They finally started doing it.
they put him and Andrews in the slot right next to each other.
Yeah,
It was nice to
smart.
see him. And the thing is, he showed that he is deceptively quick again. He had that one catch where he got upfield. He made one juke, and he got an extra 5 or 6 yards. And it's like, you need this because teams are going to focus on Andrews all year long. He is leading the league for tight ends and touchdowns, and he's up there in yards. The dude is an all pro, and I'm glad that he's having a bounce back year. Not necessarily in the yards department, but in the touchdown department, he is putting up numbers. And another thing that excites me, Josh, is that they put up 37 points yesterday, and Lamar had nothing to do with any of those points being
He
scored on
just
the
had to
board.
be a game manager. Yeah, he's a game
And
manager.
but he was a fantastic game manager.
That's all he
He
needed to do.
he led this offense, and granted, it was all by way of the running game and then the late Huntley to OBJ touchdown. But if this offense can put up 30 points before without him even getting in the end zone through the air or the ground, this is a potent offense. And we've been waiting for this offense to open up. And I feel like Monken hasn't even tapped into what he wants to do with this offense yet. I'm so excited about Sunday. I want to see Odell have another good game against his former team. Maybe Clowney can go crazy again. We're at the bank at 1:00. It's going to be a fantastic uh, AFC North divisional game. We're gonna
Hey,
be
there's another show for all that.
Yeah. We'll be back on Thursday night at 9:15, 9:30. We've been starting a little bit earlier the last couple shows. Josh, you said you wanted to keep this, short and sweet. We're at the
Short and sweet.
25-minute mark. Wrap it up, buddy.
All right, but as I wrap it up, I gotta say something about Jason Lockenfor as we close the show. Today on there, man, he was a completely different person than he was last week. Like he is just a hateful little sack of shit, and I just want to let the world know that I strongly dislike the man. I'm not going to say hate, but I strongly dislike him, and I want that
I
known.
totally missed Inside Access today. I was at work so
Oh,
late that
completely different person. Completely different. Oh yeah, everything's coming together. Like when last week he was saying how Kyle Hamilton was not a good pick. He's a talented player, but not a difference maker. Why would you ever take a center in the first round, you idiot? But look what that center was doing yesterday. Dude was blocking people twice. The same person twice. Once off the ball and once downfield again. That's a fucking lineman that you want. So only a jackass that don't know anything about anything would say something stupid like that. But
when you got a
yeah,
6'3", 300-pound center running downfield, making
yeah,
blocks
fuck off.
48 to 50 yards downfield, yeah, that's a fuck off kind of statement. I'm
He's a douche.
I'm looking forward to Sunday. We should be 10-2 when the bye rolls around. I don't want to see us put another loss on this record. this can be one of those years 14-3, 15-2. If we don't lose again the rest of the year, that would be fantastic.
We got to stay consistent.
We're staying consistent, and I'm feeling it. That's the biggest thing. I'm feeling that this is they are consistently putting up 30+ points, and the last time they scored under 30 was in London. Or they scored 30 in London, didn't they?
They
31.
did, I believe so.
I think the last time we didn't score over 30 points was the Steelers game, but we've completely righted the ship and corrected ourselves from the last Steelers game. But go ahead and sign us off, man. We will be back Thursday night, 9:30.
Yeah,
We will have the
we
guys
should
from
have some
Cleveland on the
Browns
show again.
fans. Yeah, I was about
we're-
to say we should have Cleveland fans.
Yep,
And
we will.
be nice to everybody. Just, I know we're the Ravens and they're the Browns or whatever, but just be nice. Shut it down, Matt. We gotta go. Get out my cove.